MAGA influencers are resorting to desperate smears of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as she continues to rise in popularity among Americans. Now, one of these smears involves her brother, Gabriel Ocasio-Cortez, who had to take to TikTok to shoot down a story that has been spreading like wildfire on social media that misidentified him as Matthew. Yes, Matthew Ocasio-Cortez, claimed that he was involved in a fentanyl drug ring. Now, this comes from a user named Mama Wendy 4, and she shared fake news with her followers claiming that Matthew was arrested by the Coast Guard with $1.2 million worth of fentanyl on him. Obviously, that never happened. That was not a real thing.
Bullshit.
Okay? Not a real thing. But you know what? MAGA they actually literally do not care about facts. They don't give a damn. They're going to run with it. They're going to run with it. You know why?
Just forget about the evidence.
Because they don't have any. So now, of course, they're going to run with it until someone gets sued. Which Matthew, okay, or Gabriel, has actually threatened to do. In fact, he responded to this video saying, by making his own, saying, I work with the homeless. I have nothing to do with this story, which isn't real. Please find something better to do with your time. Don't make me sue. In another video, he said that he is seeking a lawyer in Virginia, saying you have to draw the line in the sand somewhere. And added, that's all it takes to start to get somebody that's a little bit radicalized, somebody that's willing to pick up their guns and go do something. And it wouldn't be the first time that somebody's tried. That's the society that we're in. So things like this are more serious than ever. And you can't just slander people. Look, I feel for the guy because he didn't do anything wrong, right? He didn't do anything, and MAGA, in their desperate attempts to try to smear AOC, are like, aha, we're going to make up a fake story about the whole family being involved in fentanyl drug trafficking. They all look at Democrat bad. They're all criminals, whatever. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Slander is all they do. They constantly lie about everyone, everything. And not just about people, but events. Remember the Bowling Green massacre, which wasn't real? Remember, they're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Didn't happen. Not real. MAGA exists on fake news and fear. That's it. They make up stories and then get scared about the stories they just made up. I mean, it's amazing. Ridiculous. Okay, and people, they get angry, they lash out due to this fake news. I mean, you remember the Comet Pizza guy? Okay, this guy was seeing all these fake news stories about like, see, pedophiles, they're keeping children in the basement of the Comet Pizza, they're abusing the children, I gotta save the children! And so he grabbed a gun and tried to save the non-existent children from the non-existent basement. I mean, these people have had their brains absolutely cooked by social media, and I don't know how to fix that. I don't even know if you can fix that. I mean, seriously, how do you get people back into reality when they live in a completely isolated fake news, Fox News media BS bubble? How? I don't know. Nobody does. I mean, if we knew how to do it, we would try. We would try to get people back to reality. Okay? But now, to get to the point, though, of why this is happening, they're scared of AOC's rising popularity. She's actually becoming one of the Democratic Party's more influential lawmakers. In fact, she and Senator Bernie Sanders, they've been traveling the country as part of their Fighting Oligarchy tour, which has attracted some pretty big crowds, both in red and blue states. For example, in a Trump-won California district, they had over 30,000 attendees. 12,000 showed up in Idaho. So, I mean, that's huge. And not only that, but her polling has jumped considerably, as other Democrats like Chuck Schumer's, for example, sink like a stone. She currently stands at 47% favorability and 33% unfavorable among New York state voters. That is a jump from 38 to 39 the last time Sienna had asked about AOC among a statewide sample of respondents 4 years ago. She's even increased her popularity with New York Republicans. Even New York Republicans are like, that AOC, not so bad. Yes, that's about 21%. She still is way more unfavorable with Republicans, but even that seems to be growing. As far as Democrats, 64% of them see AOC in a favorable light, and other polls have her as one of the top presidential contenders for 2028. That's insane. And I think it's great, by the way. In a hypothetical Democratic primary for president, Kamala Harris still leads with 18% of the vote, followed by former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg at 14%. And then AOC is tied with Cory Booker at 12%. I do hope that AOC's polling on that continues to rise. I don't think that it would be a great idea to run Kamala Harris again, okay, or Cory Booker. Look, by the way, when Harris is taken out of the polling, Buttigieg leads the pack by about 17%, followed closely by Booker and AOC at 14 each, and Governor Gavin Newsom with 10. None of the other potential candidates tested break into double digits. So, look, Gavin Newsom, complete disaster. I hope his polls collapse, okay? And they don't actually consider trying to run him because he's over there having, nice little conversations with Nazis, okay, with people like Charlie Kirk. No, screw that guy, okay? As far as Buttigieg, look, I have had issues with Buttigieg, issues with Booker. Look, and one of the big things for Booker is he's very pro-Israel and very, very pro-Wall Street. Okay, now Buttigieg, he's not a change candidate, okay? Though I do got to give Buttigieg a lot of credit here. He is an effective messenger, and he's a great attack dog against Republicans, against the right. And so he's really, really good with his Fox News appearances, okay? But as far as being a change candidate, AOC is really the only one that I believe in that group that would try to do some sort of bold progressive change. She's not going to hit the socialism button, obviously, or the communism button, okay? I know the right wing's like, but yes, she is! No, she's not. Would she try to do a bold progressive change like Medicare for all? She'd certainly try, okay? That, of course, is up to Congress, but nonetheless, I think she would move our country in a better direction, okay? And I think what we need to do is do more bold progressive change to stop what would be an even worse Trump from happening in the future, okay? So that said, Republicans apparently see her as a significant threat. And so, of course, what's happening? They're going to lie. They're going to make things up in order to smear both her and her brother. And by the way, that also gets a lot of clicks, gets a lot of attention because a lot of Republicans really do not like her. Okay. But that said, when they do this, when they pull out the stops and start creating fake news mills, you know that they are scared. And that if you're AOC, it's a good indicator that you should continue to do exactly what you are doing. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.